Hey wrestling fans! Today's video is dedicated to the legends we've lost along the way. The champions who gave their all in the ring and won our hearts forever. We're going to relive some of their unforgettable matches, iconic moments, and the impact they had on the wrestling world. And don't go anywhere, because we have some shocking news about Becky Lynch at the end of this video that's sure to stir up the wrestling community. Let's get ready to honor these warriors and dive into an emotional tribute. Bart Sawyer, born on November 30th, 1965, was a respected figure in the professional wrestling world, celebrated for his athleticism, charisma, and contributions to the sport. He made his name in the late 1980s and 1990s, gaining recognition in both independent wrestling circuits and major promotions like the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. Known for his high-flying maneuvers and technical wrestling skills, Sawyer became a fan favorite, captivating audiences with his dynamic style. In addition to his in-ring abilities, Sawyer was deeply committed to the growth of the wrestling community. He mentored up-and-coming talent, sharing his knowledge and experience with younger wrestlers. His passion for the sport extended beyond performing, as he played an active role in training and shaping the future of wrestling, leaving a lasting impact on the industry. Sawyer's contributions to wrestling went far beyond his time in the ring. He was respected by his peers and beloved by fans for his dedication to the sport and the individuals within it. His influence helped define an era of wrestling that bridged the gap between the independent scene and larger promotions. Sadly, Bart Sawyer was attributed to complications from a stroke. While his passing marked the end of an era, his legacy remains intact. Sawyer is remembered not only for his exciting performances in the ring, but also for his generosity in teaching and guiding the next generation of wrestlers. His contributions to wrestling and the lasting memories he created will continue to be cherished by fans and colleagues alike. Peter Maivia, born Fanine Leifi Pita Maivia in Samoa, was a trailblazing professional wrestler and patriarch of the iconic Anoa'i family, which has produced numerous wrestling legends. Known as the High Chief, Maivia embraced his Samoan heritage both inside and outside the ring, wearing traditional Polynesian tattoos and incorporating cultural elements into his wrestling persona. His powerful blend of strength, athleticism, and charisma made him a fan favorite during the 1960s and 1970s, especially in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF, now WWE. Maivia's wrestling style was a combination of sheer power and smooth athleticism, and he quickly became one of the top stars in the industry. He enjoyed a lengthy career in various promotions, including those in New Zealand, Australia, and the United States, and his legacy was solidified by his role in helping to lay the foundation for Samoan wrestlers who would follow. Maivia was also known for his ability to shift between being a fan favorite, babyface, and a villain, heel, showcasing his versatility as a performer. However, Maivia's greatest legacy lies in the Anoa'i family, which includes some of wrestling's biggest stars. He was the grandfather of Dwayne "The Rock" Johnson and a mentor to many other Samoan wrestlers, including the Wild Samoans, Yokozuna, and Roman Reigns. His influence on the wrestling world remains undeniable. Peter Maivia, a tragic loss that cut short his promising career. Despite his contributions to the sport, both in-ring and as a mentor, were immortalized when he was posthumously inducted into the WWE Hall of Fame, cementing his place as a wrestling legend. Hana Kimura, born on September 3, 1997, was a promising Japanese professional wrestler and reality TV star whose life was tragically cut short. Kimura was a standout performer in the world of professional wrestling, making a significant impact in Stardom, Japan's premier women's wrestling promotion. Known for her dynamic in-ring style, athleticism, and unique charisma, she quickly became a beloved figure among wrestling fans. In addition to her wrestling career, Kimura gained wider recognition through her appearance on the popular Japanese reality TV show Terrace House. Her time on the show provided fans a glimpse into her life outside the ring, showcasing her vibrant personality. However, her experience on Terrace House also exposed her to intense online scrutiny and cyberbullying, which would ultimately have a devastating impact. Kimura's was ruled a suicide, and it was later revealed that she had been a target of relentless online harassment. The abuse she endured from social media users, coupled with the pressures of fame, contributed to her tragic decision. Her passing highlighted the severe effects of cyberbullying and the mental health challenges faced by individuals in the public eye. Her sent shockwaves through the wrestling community, with fans, colleagues, and fellow wrestlers mourning the loss of a young talent with so much potential. In the wake of her passing, Kimura's legacy has become a powerful reminder of the need for greater awareness and action against online harassment. Through her story, many have been inspired to speak out against cyberbullying and to support mental health initiatives. Bob Armstrong, born on October 3, 1939, was a legendary professional wrestler whose career spanned multiple decades. Known for his dynamic in-ring style and natural charisma, Armstrong made an indelible impact on the wrestling world. He began his career in the 1960s, competing in various regional promotions and quickly earning a reputation for his athleticism and engaging persona. Armstrong's wrestling journey saw him capture several prestigious titles, including the NWA Southern Heavyweight Championship and the NWA Tag Team Championship. Throughout his career, Armstrong was involved in numerous memorable rivalries, particularly in the National Wrestling Alliance, NWA, and World Championship Wrestling, WCW. His hard-hitting matches and ability to connect with fans solidified his status as a beloved figure in the wrestling community. Beyond his in-ring accomplishments, Armstrong was a respected mentor to many, including his sons, who followed in his footsteps and became professional wrestlers themselves. In addition to his wrestling achievements, Armstrong was inducted into several halls of fame, further cementing his legacy as one of the sport's greats. His contributions to the industry were immense, both in terms of his performances and the impact he had on the next generation of wrestlers. Sadly, Bob Armstrong was attributed to complications from cancer, which he had been battling privately. Though he is no longer with us, Armstrong's legacy endures through his family and his lasting influence on professional wrestling. He will always be remembered as a true icon, a trailblazer, and a cherished figure in the history of the sport. Adnan Al-Qaisi, born on March 1, 1939, was a pioneering Iraqi-American professional wrestler and manager. Known for his ring personas such as Sheikh Adnan Al-Qaisi, Billy White Wolf, and General Adnan, Al-Qaisi had a remarkable career spanning several decades. His breakthrough moment came in 1971 when he defeated the legendary Andre the Giant at Al-Shab Stadium in Baghdad. This historic match was made possible through the involvement of Al-Qaisi's high school classmate, Saddam Hussein, a prominent figure in the Ba'ath Party. Al-Qaisi made a name for himself in the Worldwide Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he achieved significant success, including capturing the WWF World Tag Team Championship alongside Chief Jay Strongbow on December 7, 1976. In the early 1980s, he joined the American Wrestling Association, AWA, continuing to showcase his charisma and wrestling talent. His legacy extended to the World Wrestling Federation, WWF, where he transitioned into a managerial role. Under the moniker of General Adnan, he famously managed Sergeant Slaughter, leading to a high-profile involvement in the SummerSlam 1991 handicap match, alongside Colonel Mustafa against Hulk Hogan and The Ultimate Warrior, with Sid Justice as the special guest referee. Al-Qaisi also made history as the first Iraqi and first Arab wrestler to compete in a WWF-WWE ring. Al-Qaisi after battling health issues related to heart disease. He is remembered for breaking barriers in professional wrestling and for his lasting influence on the industry. His contributions are still celebrated by fans and colleagues alike. Fabulous Moolah, born Mary Lillian Ellison on July 22, 1923, was a pioneering figure in professional wrestling and one of the most influential women in the history of the sport. due to natural causes, leaving behind a complex and lasting legacy. Moolah began her wrestling career in the 1940s, when the industry was predominantly male, becoming a trailblazer for women in a time when opportunities were scarce. Her most notable achievement was her record-breaking reign as the NWA World Women's Champion, a title she held from 1956 to 1984, a 28-year stretch that remains one of the longest title reigns in professional wrestling history. Her dominance in the ring and ability to draw audiences played a significant role in increasing the visibility and respect for women's wrestling. In addition to her in-ring success, Moolah's contributions as a manager and promoter helped shape the future of women's wrestling. She trained many of the top female wrestlers of her era, mentoring a generation of stars and establishing herself as a cornerstone in the development of the women's division. However, Moolah's legacy is not without controversy. She faced numerous allegations of exploiting and mismanaging her trainees, which have overshadowed parts of her career. Despite these issues, her influence on the sport is undeniable. Moolah broke down barriers for women in professional wrestling, and her impact is still felt in the industry today, cementing her place as one of the sport's legendary figures. Andre the Giant, born André René Roussimoff on May 19, 1946, in Grenoble, France, became one of the most iconic figures in both professional wrestling and entertainment. Standing at 7 feet 4 inches tall and weighing around 520 pounds at his peak, André's extraordinary size was due to acromegaly, a rare condition caused by excessive growth hormone production. This condition gave him a larger-than-life presence that captivated audiences worldwide. André's wrestling career spanned over 2 decades, during which he became a WWE, then WWF, legend. He faced some of the greatest wrestlers of his time, including a historic showdown at WrestleMania 3 against Hulk Hogan. Although he lost the match, André's role in the story cemented his place as a beloved figure in the wrestling world. Outside the ring, André achieved success as an actor, most famously portraying the gentle giant Fezzik in the beloved 1987 film The Princess Bride, further embedding himself in popular culture. Despite his success, André's life was marred by the challenges of his condition. Acromegaly caused him constant pain and affected his mobility, making daily tasks increasingly difficult. His health struggles were compounded by the physical toll wrestling took on his body. Tragically, André the Giant from congestive heart failure, a complication often linked to his acromegaly. André's passing left a void in the wrestling community and beyond. But his legacy endures through his contributions to the sport, his unforgettable screen performances, and his larger-than-life personality. His story serves as a powerful reminder of perseverance in the face of immense adversity. Becky Lynch, born Rebecca Quinn on January 30, 1987, in Limerick, Ireland, has emerged as one of the most influential and decorated figures in professional wrestling. From her humble beginnings as a fiery teenager training in Irish gyms, to headlining WrestleMania and redefining women's roles in WWE, Lynch's journey has been nothing short of extraordinary. Known globally by her ring name, The Man, Becky Lynch has become a cultural icon, a trailblazer in women's wrestling, and an inspiration to millions across the world. As of 2025, her career has spanned more than 2 decades, nearly a lifetime in the physically demanding world of wrestling. She's not just a performer, she's a movement. But with a recent extended hiatus, shifting dynamics in WWE, and rising stars crowding the main event scene, Becky Lynch's future has once again become the subject of intense speculation and scrutiny. Her 2025 return marks a new chapter, one filled with hope, uncertainty, and the unmistakable fire that only The Man can bring. A Rebel's Rise, from Limerick to the limelight. Becky Lynch's journey to superstardom didn't begin with a flashy WWE debut or an overnight push. Her roots are far more rugged. At just 15 years old, she began training under the Irish wrestling scene's unsung heroes, driven by a love of combat sports and the larger-than-life personas she watched on TV. Wrestling offered an outlet for her boundless energy and competitive spirit. From the start, it was clear. Lynch wasn't just going to participate, she intended to lead. During her early years, Lynch, then wrestling under the name Rebecca Knox, made her presence felt across the globe, performing in promotions in Canada, Japan, and Europe. Her style was stiff, technical, and brimming with raw passion. But in 2006, a serious head injury nearly ended her career, forcing her into a lengthy hiatus. Most would have walked away. Lynch didn't. Years later, she reignited her dream and caught the attention of WWE, joining its developmental territory NXT in 2013. It was a rocky start. Her early NXT character involved Irish dancing and cartoonish charm. But beneath the gimmick was a determined athlete, hungry to prove herself. And soon, that fire couldn't be ignored. The woman who became the man Lynch's major breakthrough came in 2016 when she became the inaugural SmackDown Women's Champion. But the turning point in her legacy, the moment Becky Lynch truly transcended wrestling, came in 2018. After a fiery feud with Charlotte Flair and an ill-timed punch from Nia Jax that left her bloodied on a live episode of Raw, Becky Lynch emerged not as a victim, but as a warrior. The crowd's response was electric. What followed was the birth of The Man, a persona that captured the hearts of fans in a way few characters ever have. Becky Lynch wasn't asking for opportunities anymore. She was taking them. She didn't just want to be the best female wrestler. She wanted to be the best wrestler, period. In 2019, Lynch etched her name in history by headlining WrestleMania 35 in the first women's main event in the show's storied history. The triple threat match, Becky Lynch versus Ronda Rousey versus Charlotte Flair, was a culmination of decades of struggle, not just for her, but for women in wrestling. When she raised both the Raw and SmackDown Women's Championships at the end of the night, it wasn't just a personal triumph. It was symbolic. Women had arrived, and Becky Lynch was their standard bearer. Beyond the ring, author icon Mother Lynch's impact wasn't limited to the squared circle. With her brash confidence, sharp wit, and unwavering authenticity, she crossed into mainstream consciousness. Appearances on talk shows, red carpets, and magazine covers followed. She became the kind of star WWE hadn't seen in years, an unfiltered, self-made success story with crossover appeal. In 2024, she released her memoir, Becky Lynch, The Man Not Your Average Girl, which quickly became a Sunday Times bestseller. The book offered a raw, unfiltered look at her journey, childhood struggles, career setbacks, and the emotional toll of carving out space in a male-dominated sport. Fans embraced it as not just a wrestling story, but a tale of resilience. Adding to her narrative, Lynch embraced a new role in 2021, motherhood. She and fellow WWE superstar Seth Rollins welcomed their daughter, Rue, and Lynch stepped away from wrestling temporarily. Her return in 2022 proved she could juggle motherhood and superstardom, breaking yet another glass ceiling in a sport where personal lives are often sidelined. The disappearance, a year away from the spotlight. But in the summer of 2024, Becky Lynch disappeared from WWE television. Her contract with the company expired, and unlike previous breaks, there was no immediate announcement of a return or a retirement. Fans were left in limbo. Rumors ran rampant. Was she dissatisfied with creative direction? Was there a contract dispute behind the scenes? Or was this simply a much-needed pause to focus on family, personal health, or new ventures? Some reports suggested that Lynch was unhappy with how her character had been portrayed in the months leading to her exit. WWE had shifted focus to rising stars like Rhea Ripley, Liv Morgan, and Bianca Belair. names Lynch had once mentored or battled at the top. Perhaps she felt creatively stifled, reduced to putting others over without a clear path back to championship gold. Behind-the-scenes murmurs also hinted at friction with WWE's evolving creative leadership. With major shifts in booking philosophy and changing priorities, after several corporate restructurings, Lynch's vision for her character may not have aligned with the company's direction. The return in 2025. Welcome back. But to what? In early 2025, the rumors were finally put to rest. Becky Lynch made her return to WWE in dramatic fashion. A surprise appearance during the Royal Rumble sent fans into a frenzy, and the message was clear: the man was back. But WWE wasn't the same place she had left. The women's division had undergone a metamorphosis. New alliances were forged, rivalries ignited, and champions crowned. The ring was now home to formidable new faces, many of whom had risen during Lynch's absence. Her return brought excitement, but also raised questions. Where does Becky Lynch fit into this modern WWE ecosystem? Some fans worry that WWE might fumble her return storyline or diminish her role in favor of pushing new talent. Others believe that this is merely the start of a major redemption arc, one that could culminate in another WrestleMania moment, or a deeply personal rivalry that pushes Lynch to redefine herself once again. Balancing the spotlight and the playroom. Beyond the professional considerations, Lynch's personal life remains a key part of the puzzle. Being a mother to a young child while managing the grueling WWE schedule is no small task. She's been vocal about the challenges of balancing both, often speaking candidly about sleepless nights, missed family moments, and the pressures of being a public figure and parent simultaneously. Yet it's precisely this vulnerability that endears her to fans. In a world filled with manufactured personas, Lynch remains unapologetically real. Her ability to confront these challenges head-on only adds to her legend. Moreover, her marriage to Seth Rollins, another top-tier WWE performer, continues to capture fans' imagination. Together, they represent a modern power couple in wrestling, equally dominant, supportive, and unafraid to embrace real-life roles on a public stage. WWE's new world, and Becky's place. In it, Becky Lynch's return comes at a pivotal time for WWE. The wrestling industry is more competitive than ever. AEW continues to grow, offering creative freedom and lucrative contracts. International promotions are gaining ground, and WWE itself has seen drastic changes in its creative leadership and business model following mergers and executive shakeups. For someone like Lynch, who has already accomplished so much, this could be a time of reinvention or reflection. Will she seek another championship reign? Will she step into a mentorship role to help guide the next generation? Or is her endgame something entirely different? Perhaps a final feud, a career-defining rivalry, or even a surprise departure to explore ventures outside WWE. What lies ahead for the man? As Becky Lynch reclaims her place in WWE, one thing remains clear: her story is far from over. Whether she climbs the mountaintop once more or finds a new path within the wrestling world, her legacy is already secured. She has been a pioneer, a champion, a mother, an author, and an undeniable force in sports entertainment. Her journey from an Irish teenager with a dream to a global wrestling icon is the stuff of legend. And while the future holds questions, will she thrive in a changing WWE, retool her character, or eventually walk away on her own terms? There's no doubt she will face it all with the same grit, charisma, and courage that earned her the name, The Man. In a wrestling world that often forgets its heroes as quickly as it builds them, Becky Lynch remains unforgettable. And whether you cheer her, boo her, or debate her place on the all-time list, one thing is certain: Becky Lynch is not done writing her legacy, she's just flipped the page.